episode number 22 of Winning the Journey Within podcast and Mar Rovira, a former professional basketball player who spent 17 years on the court and now one of the most respected sports psychologists working with elite athletes. This conversation was so real, so deep. Mar has seen both sides of this journey and she doesn't hold back. We talked about her time in basketball, her transition into mental health work, and her unique approach to helping athletes navigate the battles nobody sees. And I'm not gonna lie, this conversation felt like therapy for me in the best way possible. Let's dive in. Well, hello, Mar. I'm going to welcome you first of all. Thank you for finding time to be a part of my podcast and talk on some very valuable topics that we face in sports life.
No, thank you for having me here. I know you've been fighting for so long you know, to have my attention, but so I apologize because I've been super busy, but I wanted to do this because I think it's really important. So I'm
I'm
here
sure
to have fun.
the fight will be worth it for both of us and not only just us. I'm just gonna introduce you a little bit because there's so much to be said about the work that you're doing. You're an ex-basketball player. You had 17 years in professional basketball, and you've transformed into the sports psychology. You're working as a psychologist, you're working as a professor at the university, you're building all these programs mental health wise, so much work to do, and something I aspire to do as well. So I just wanted to ask you at the beginning, how did this happen for you? Was this something that you always wanted to do while you were playing?
Uh, well, I wasn't even planning to be a pro basketball player. So for me, things go natural. So you just walk the road and then you see where it goes. And it happens the same with psychology. While I was playing, I was studying because, you know, women and pro sports, something tough. And we know for sure that after our career, we will have to have a normal job. So I was studying at the same time, and I was studying psychology, but I didn't know what to do after. And then when I finished my career, then I decided maybe if I combine my two passions, it can make sense. So this is why I decided to have a master degree in sports psychology specifically. And then I said, okay, let's try and see if I can bring something valuable to the sports world. And well, I think it's not been bad at all.
Not at all, not at all. So, was there something that you felt like was missing during your career, something that you felt the need for? How was it back then? Open talk about vulnerability and mental health in general.
When I was playing at that time, I can recall that it wasn't trendy. Nobody was using sports psychology as today. And I say that if I would have sports psychology by my side, for sure I would earn more titles, more money. I would have a more healthier and successful career than I did back in the days. And of course, nobody was talking about mental health at all. And we were involved in this culture of, I would say, the suck it up culture that you have to push hard and you have to survive, and only the strongest wins. So it was this kind of culture. But at the same time, I didn't feel that I was missing some support. So it was real. At that time, no, I thought that that was the normal way to proceed. So it's not that I was lacking a sports psychologist by my side. No.
Yeah. And how do you find that now? Because I do feel like a lot of us feel that they need to just tough it up, suck it up, and just go through it. Do you find that today to be the case also?
Uh, yeah, this culture is still in the game because at some point you need to balance between the self-demanding style. You need to push hard because in high-level performance standards are high, but the secret is to have this balance because it has to be sustainable over the time. And I think right now clubs are understanding this because it's a lot of pressure and congested schedules. Every day, more and more difficult to raise the standards. So they are starting to understand that if they push a bit too much, then players will be broken. So now mentality is changing a bit, I would say. But still, um, they feel that they are superheroes and superheroines and they cannot miss and they have to hang it there and they have to suffer. And so, yeah, there's a lot of this.
Yeah. And how do you work with those of us that come to you and we are like, I want to work on myself so I can perform better, but you feel that we need to take a break or pause or take a longer break or quit or do something different than what we are asking for?
Yeah, this is, we could be talking for hours because that's an excellent question. And I like to say that I'm the most self demanding and demanding with others. So if you are pursuing performance, then call me. But at the same time, uh, I, I think it's super important the person behind, and I will never cross the line, the red line. So sometimes you have to be clever, and if you stop in time, then maybe after you can come back stronger, or maybe not, and that was the cleverest move in your life. So at some point you have to know boundaries. You need to know where is the red line, and then you have to be brave, and you have to have the bravest conversation ever with the athlete because sometimes it's not about performance; it's about health.
Definitely, definitely. What is on the red line? What are some of the warning signs?
Uh, Most of them are related to physiological symptoms, and they are clear symptoms like disturbing sleeping patterns, for instance, um, problems related to stomach ache, for instance, nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system that it's uh, hyper activated all the time, 24/7, and the parasympathetic nervous system is missing. And then from there, inflammation and blah, blah, blah. So those are physiological signs that it's super important that the athletes understand. The muscle injuries, suddenly muscle injuries as well. So they have to understand that if this is happening, we have to check, just to check, because if that happens over the time, at the end, your organism will say, if you don't stop, I will for you. So you have to make them be aware of that. Then the other signals are more cognitive signals, and it starts with the way that you think, that it's more complex, complicated, bias to negativity, without hope. Everything is what I call the black the black uh, cloud on top of you, that, and then okay, this is another sign, and then it's the behaviors that you do, like avoiding. When I start to see a lot of avoiding conducts, then I said, okay, let's check, because this is not normal.
Yeah.
So I would say these three groups of symptoms, you have to be uh, clever to see them.
Yeah. Oh, now that you're saying all this, like I'm recognizing the certain stories from the previous guests that I've had, and I truly hope that all of them are going to watch this episode and take some notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'll share it soon. Uh, but to go back a little bit to my timeline of the conversation, you've worked with different sports. You worked in individual sports and team sports. What are some of the common struggles that we go through?
Uh, Definitely, individual sports is tougher, talking about the psychological aspect, because at the end of the day, you are alone with yourself, so you have to perform, and within the team, even though sometimes you don't have the healthiest family, the healthiest team with you, but you kind of have the help of the rest of the team. But with individual sports, is much more difficult. Uh, they are more difficult to be helped, because they are more egoistic, I would say, and they are not too used to work in a team environment. So this is a difficulty. And then the sports, especially golf and tennis, that they are the two super kings of the individual sports, are the most difficult psychologically speaking. So it adds more difficulty. So with individual athletes, we work a lot, things related to attention and thoughts, and then all the physiological signs to be as balanced as possible. And we try to teach them how to work in a team, because we are social human, and we need to know how to handle other people. So this is important. And with in team sports, it's more about, in high level, what do you do with your ego? This is especially in soccer. Ego is trendy, because if you don't know how to handle with this, it's going to be a lot of problems. And super interesting to work with conflict management, leadership, communication skills, persuasion, uh, all these together, mixed with emotions, and then put it into action. Think that would be a summary. That's
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, and to me, since we are coming from the same sport, team sport, managing all of these people that are around and that are most of the time not at the same level and needing to get the energies correct, to get the needs correct, and be a part of the team so we can produce something good. It's not easy. What are some of the things that you suggest individuals that do the team sports and struggle combining all of their strengths with the strengths of the rest of it?
For sure, you can bring some ideas, because you know plenty. But over the years, for me, I like to do things super simple and easy, and try to make them be as impactful as possible. So I would say that with teams, you have to make them feel inspired and secure. These two things. Basically, I don't know which one goes first. It doesn't matter. I don't stress with order neither. But if you make them feel that they are secure, then you have 50% of the work done. And how are you going to do this? Then you have to analyze your team, and you have to bring them the best tactical system for them to feel secure and for them to think, I'm able to do this. This is something simple to do. Then the other thing is to make them feel secure is to explain everything super clear and everybody knows what to do and what not to do. Simple say, but not so many coaches does these things. And the third one is because you know exactly what you have to do. I know that if I play with you and I'm ordering, like talking about, okay, let's press, I know you have my back. And I know exactly where you are. And I know that I can risk the pass because if there's a backdoor, Milica is going to be there. This applies to everything. That makes me feel secure and belong to something bigger than me. So if you start to build this idea, at the end of the year, your team is powerful. And then inspiration. This is something that I don't know why so difficult. But if you are an amazing post player, I want to play with you. And if I'm inspired by you, my assist will be amazing just because of that. So I want to play with you. And this, what do we need to do? Communicate to each other, hang out outside, find common spots, trust each other, do tasks on court where I realize that every time that I do this, Milica actually is in my back, so I can rely on her because I saw. Because at the end of the day, in this case, we are playing basketball. So now, okay, she's on my team, regardless. So I would say these two things. Then you have to be creative and see if you have this clear in your mind when you design the microcycle of the week, you will have those goals. And okay, I built a little bit of security. Good. I built a little bit of inspiration. Good. Then everything will be fine.
That makes so much sense. Yeah, I really like it. I didn't really think of it in that manner, but it just really makes sense. And there is this research that I heard about recently that the teams that perform on the highest level and they succeed the most are the teams that um, literally high five each other, celebrate each other, help each other, and communicate. Two most important things to succeed in teams to make the group are these. What do you think about that? Because to me, that was like perfect. Like I actually applied it to my team.
Yeah, yeah, hearing about this research. I didn't find it, but of course it makes sense, and it's related to what I was saying before. And actually, when I saw that in my club, in my soccer club, in the first division males team, the staff, so the first coach, second coach, analysts, physical trainers, and myself, we hug each other every day. I don't know how many times. We are super like we are touchy. Like we touch every single time. We make jokes. Because but this is related to trust and to admiration and trying to create this a optimistic environment, because this is something that I work super hard. If you build an optimistic environment, which means it doesn't mean that you are all the day laughing and happy flowers. No, it means that when you have to work, you work, and you work super hard. When the things go wrong, you know how to face them, fix the problem, no drama, no victimism, keep moving. For me, this is optimism. And optimism as well is not to believe that you are the very best in the world, it's just to be sure that you are who you are and that you have the abilities that you have, no more, no less. And from there, everything will be okay. So this is the third element of the that before I didn't said, but I truly believe if you build this environment, you're going to take the 100%, especially in stressful situations. If not, you are paralyzed, or if not, you will not see the right solution, or you will be a victim, or you will start complaining, or you will have less power or energy. So
Yeah.
optimistic environment, clarity, everybody knows what to do, and everybody is doing their best because sometimes there's a mistake. Imagine that you start playing as a point guard.
Exactly.
This is stupid, right? This is come on, it will never happen. It happened.
Yeah. Awesome. It makes so much sense and I love it. And I really want to put this message out there, you know. But to go a little bit now to individuality as us athletes, for example, even if we are in individual sport or in team sports, the pressure with the performance comes. And what is some of the inner thought that you recognize in athletes at the peak of their performance?
Um, every year, I when I reflect on these things, I say that every day or every year, I know less and less because I've seen so many athletes having so different strategies, and at the end of the day, they all work. That the question has its complexity because I could start with the basics, but I've seen um, a lot of different strategies. But I think at the end of the day, all different roads get to Rome. But the secret is to recognize, okay, there is Rome. Rome is there. Uh, I don't know how I'm going to make it, but I will get there. And when you are in Rome, you are only there. That's this only there. It doesn't matter that you were suffering to get there, a lot of intrusive thoughts, that you felt bad, like physiologically speaking, that you don't feel comfortable. I don't care. Or you were like super strong and you were optimistic and you get there in shape. I don't care. It's how you get there. Once you are there, then you are only doing what you have to do, your task. And the relevant stimulus, you pay attention to relevant stimulus, nothing else. How you get there? If you get there fighting, probably the one who did it smoothly will have a small advantage at the end, probably, but you can perform great as well. And when you are in the battle, stay there and pay attention and do simple. Simple. What do you do, Milica? What you were doing? Playing basketball. Play basketball. Simple to say, difficult to do.
Yeah. Sometimes we are searching for the answers from somewhere outside of us, and at the end, it's just here. It's who I am, it's what I bring to the table. and where it takes me. It's take me where I need to be, and what I have
Exactly.
imagined that it has to be may not be the case. This is
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah,
my case.
yeah,
um,
yeah. And then at the end, it's about uh, do what you do.
yeah, simple, like you said.
Yeah, this at least this is what I try. Simple, because everything is too complicated. So, as a sports psychologist, we don't need to add more complexity. I
True.
try to remove as much complexity as possible. So I do simple interventions.
Awesome.
It doesn't mean that they are not,
Hard to get to.
yeah.
Um, and what about those athletes? We've seen so many of us who are trying to reach certain goals, and we are literally giving everything, practicing all day long, focusing all of our life, like all of our daily routines to the basketball, to the tennis, to the football, to all of these sports that we are into, but results are not coming. When is the breaking point that you must feel to let it go?
Wow, this is a wise question that requires a wise answer, and it's not easy. Um, Now, how I'm going to explain this, because it might sound, I don't know how it might sound, but when I work with athletes, something that it comes to my mind at some point is, okay, you have this level, and don't tell me why, but I know when you reach your top. If I would know how to measure, I would measure and I will share with you. I don't know, but I know. And then, because I know, and maybe you might not know, my work is to gentle let you know that the acceptance road is coming, that you should be proud of what you get, and it's okay to be here, because this is your 100%. This is your 100%. And then, of course, always is somebody above you and always somebody below you. You did what you did, you're 100. Then be super proud, because not everybody gets to the 100. So, and then that's a conversation that you have to have. And now I want to see you keep performing and keep being passionate about your sport until you decide that it's enough, because it's not everything about results. I like to say that I'm a loser. I will, 17 years playing pro, I never win a title. I was runner-up, EuroLeague runner-up, Liga Femenina runner-up, Queen's Cup runner-up. Uh, in Spain, going to the Olympics, almost medal guarantee. My chance was China 2008. 2008. I was the fourth point guard, so I never made it, the Olympics. So, and at the end of the day, I was thinking, I'm super proud of my runner-up career, because I knew that my roof was exactly a bench EuroLeague player. Like EuroLeague, like good teams, like the of best 4 or 8 teams, bench player of these teams. I'm not going to lie to myself. It's okay. So that is good. It could be more. It was my limit. It was my limit. Proud, yes. Did I do mistakes in my career? Yes. Did I pay for them? Yes. This is life. Acceptance and enjoy.
I love it. If we don't say anything else tonight, I absolutely
Okay.
love it. This is the answer that we needed to hear so bad. I talk to so many athletes. I have so many friends. I mentor you. I have so many teammates, and this was just like it literally it hit me here. Like this is what we needed to hear. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, no. Thank you.
Oh wow, awesome.
Thank you for your reaction because I was paying attention that it was like it was
It,
hitting somewhere inside.
it hit me. Um, but how much did this career that you had in 17 years pro and who knows how many cool playing and dedicating to the sport and following other sports, obviously, how much did it help you to be the sports psychologist that you are today?
100%, I would say. Uh, and I'm not saying that if you don't have this backup, you cannot be a good sports psychologist. What I'm saying is that I don't care others. I use the tools that I have. So I might be an not typical sports psychologist because I use what I have. So when I have a chat or I try to make bonding with an athlete, most of them they tell me we cannot joke around with Mar because and we cannot cheat her because she already knows. So what people say is that I'm very good at anticipating, which is not written in the books, but is because of the experience, and I like to observe and I anticipate. Of course, I make mistakes, but it's a great advantage, even for players, because if I say, if you don't do this, I think this is going to happen, and then it happens. Perfect. So now are you going to do it? Yeah, yeah, of course. Or the opposite. Hey, trust me. If you do this, this will happen, and then it happens. Then you have them with you. So it's good advantage. And I enjoy, you can imagine how much I enjoy working with coaches. I love it. And this appreciates so much this capacity of anticipation, and they don't feel at all that they are working with a psychologist. They think they are working with somebody who knows the sport, even or sometimes I don't know the sport. So I'm not a typical psychologist. Now I'm dressed like this. I'm always in sweatpants with my ponytail, stronger than them. So it's a lot of fun. I talk like them. Mm, so I use my background. It's my style.
Awesome. And since we are talking about coaches, obviously you're working with coaches and referees, athletes all around. But what are some similarities between us that you wouldn't say before you started working with all of us?
I couldn't hear. Can you repeat the question because it was noise?
What are some similarities between athletes, coaches, and referees? Something that we have in common that you were surprised by once you started working with all of us?
Uh, I would say at high level, um, everybody is super self-demanding, which makes sense. But and then uh, more or less, everybody has the same fears. Most of them related to making mistakes, and the ones who, as fast as possible, they handle this. They they go super fast. Then one quality that is super important, and I would no, I don't know, but it's flexibility. And because I always like to say that you need to learn a lot and fast. And uh, depending on your ego, I would say, or your background, sometimes it's difficult. But I didn't see any difference between coaches, athletes, and referees. And I would say, now that you mentioned referees, the most self demanding are referees, much more than coaches and players.
Wow, that one surprised.
That for me, yes, yes, that was shocking for me.
Wow. And while you are talking, you said a fear of mistakes. That was one of the things that we all struggle with. Do you think that's more like self-inflicted, considering the social media appearances? Like everybody has an opinion and everybody can say their opinion out there, put it, post it, ready for everyone else to see.
Yes, I always like to say that I was super lucky to be now a 50 years old woman and had my career 15 years ago. Because nowadays, I don't want to be an athlete. It's much more difficult, only because of this impact, as you said, and you probably will be experiencing. Everybody can talk, everybody can judge, everybody is there waiting for you to fail. It's exhausting. For me, it's a lot of pressure. So it's fundamental to teach our athletes uh, which are the relevant stimulus on task. And if I have a doubt about a building who is built on the other side of the street, I will not ask you for
Opinion.
an opinion. I will ask you about, hey, this post player move, what, because you are expert on that. So this is super important. And then the other thing is you have to trust your inner family, which can be your blood family or friends or the closest one. And then the rest, try to
Block.
yeah, to block, avoid, or because sometimes I use with my players, okay, this weekend, and I like to make fun so much. A lot of fun. Come on. Today you almost break the backboard. Come on. You strong, eh? Today you make the joke because come on, it's. Then I said, okay, now remove your social media for 1 week. Then you are not that important, eh? Don't you think that they will be talking all the time with you? But okay, 1 week. And then after 1 week, you are not famous anymore. So then put it back again. Because I don't want avoiders, but sometimes we need to protect. This is something. And then about mistakes, I like to use the word adjustment because my athletes never make mistakes. They adjust. Sometimes they adjust good, sometimes they adjust not that good. And if you cannot adjust in the game, well, it's a no problem. We will adjust on Monday in practice, or we will adjust watching the video, and then we will give a solution. Next time this player in offense do this fake, you will do this and that. Period. Next time you will defend better. Move on. Next. No dramas. Simple. That's it.
Simple.
Then simple. You don't live in the mistakes world. You live in an adjustment world because you are learning, progressing, evolving, playing, having fun. Uh, of course, sometimes you adjust how you can. What can we do? No drama.
Yeah. This is one thing that I've seen that works very well, like just rephrasing what we tell ourselves, like mistake, adjusting. Perfect. you know. And most of us have that inner thought that comes when somebody's critiques when we were little, when we were growing up, when we were in some bad period of time, and we carry it and we start to believe it, you know. And I really, while I was working with two psychologists, I needed to read these stories. Do you do that? Do you find worth in that?
Um, I like to work before the competition, right? Before the game, and after the game, and then post game. This is where you have to work a lot, reframing and which kind of story are you telling about your performance. This is super important because sometimes when you are down, when you are not wired to this optimistic model, you watch your performance and then I will tell you, okay, Milica, tell me what happened. Terrible. Then you are watching only the bad things. So in this moment, of course, you have to do tough work and try to teach the player to put things in context and reframe, but never lie, just to give another perspective to the things. But at the end of the day, what you have to understand is that what you were talking about the inner thinking. If I give a lot of tools to my players, but I always say, look, I'm giving this to you because I want you to be secure. Put it in your magic pocket. You are not going to use them because you don't need them. Just in case, if something happened, something like, I don't know, you are playing super good and suddenly disaster. Okay, then you might need to use the um, the magic trick for the mistakes. If not, maybe you might need inner thinking or inner dialogue, but most of the time you are going to play. You don't need this. You have to flow and you have to be connected to the game and you have to do things. You do your thing, which is play basketball. Then everything is fine. Then you go with your t-shirt, your shoes, your pants, and your magic tricks, just in case you need them. If you need them too much, if you are forcing too much, you play a bad game for sure, and you run, a bad race. Or then in the post game, when I ask, and then you, okay, Milica, how was the game? And then you explain to me El Quijote, eh? Big novel, then I will stop you, and then okay, bad game, right? Because you should summarize, Mar, everything fine. That's it.
How do you suggest us to get in the flow of the game?
Um, Probably you already know, and you experience this. Getting in the flow is not like it says in the books, the flow and then the time and space, all this. Nah, Bordemoya. No, it's not that. It's just to be paying attention to the relevant stimulus on task with okay activation and with the right emotions. That's it. And to do that, go to the basics, simple mental maps, one thing, then second thing, and then suddenly, oh, end of the first quarter.
Definitely.
So you have to have your magic tricks if you get lost. You know how to do it, Milica. You start the game and you say, okay, first one, okay, jump ball. Okay, we always win the jump ball. It's going to be like this. So I talk to the point guard. Then the first one called three, blah, 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 because this is 80% of percentage that we score. Let's start with 2-0. Okay, then and then no more plans, but you are already moving and you are already in the game. You know how to do it. You know how to ride the bicycle. Sometimes it's how we, you know how to do it. Sometimes they want to kill me. Come on, Mar, such a help. I mean, don't worry. You will tell me later.
It is true. It is true. I see what you're saying. But there are some moments that we lose our flow and we lose
Yes.
that confidence and what we have. And for example, it's coming back from a long-term injury, even a short-term injury, just coming back to the court. How important is it to work on your mental health while you are working also on your recovering from your injury?
Um, theoretically speaking, is super good. I'm saying this because I have the protocol and everything set for my athletes, and then I I will end up doing half of the half of the half, and then we start to intervene in the last phase of the return to play. But it would be interesting that in this period of time, you could be working on things that you normally don't do, like improving your tactical skills, memory skills, because in basketball, you have to, you are all the time processing stimulus. So in your working memory, so you could do this kind of work. Um, you could work on your beliefs, because the beliefs, this is something that you have inside. Maybe you are too perfectionist or too self-demanding, or you don't have a psychological flexibility, so you could be working on this, but the reality is that nobody does. That's what it is. And when you are closer to the return to play, then as a sports psychologist, look, this is something that I like to do. Sometimes, if you put so much attention, then you create the problem. Then I have one player now with ACL. Mar, we have to. Then I go to the field, to the pitch. I watch. I don't see any, like strange movement. Of course, he's coming back slowly. You have to do something with him. No, because if I don't name
Okay.
the problem,
He doesn't know he has it.
this I do with my MotoGP riders. You have to see this. They are in practice. Super dangerous fall with a lot of pain. They enter the box and we ignore what happened. Are you okay? Yes. Can you continue? Do you want me to go with you to the medical center? No? Okay. If you are okay, get changed in 1 hour. Let's do the next one. Because if you start to ask, start to dig, then he will start, okay, feeling the fear. And if you feel the fear, you are done.
I love,
So,
I love this
so,
advice.
eh?
I love this advice because I'm a person who loves to dig deep. I like to go and research what is it, what is it, what is it.
Okay, then, because if you would work with me, at some point I would say, why you need to, why you need to know? Why? Just then, if you feel like this because you have a lot of self-knowledge, then you said, okay, Milica, okay, just do it. Like if you go deep, why the? Okay, Mar said three deep questions. Go do it, and then we talk.
It makes
Because,
sense.
yes, because we are athletes. We do things. We don't think things. No? If you think too much,
No, but
then
that's one of our biggest blockages, like overthinking or perfectionism. I'm guilty of both, and I tried really like at this late age to let myself go. Now that I'm at the end of my career, I'm like, okay, like and how I need to enjoy it. I did the overthinking, I did the perfectionism, I did all of these things, pressure, no pressure, routines, no routines, like now let me just enjoy it. And once
and
I,
guess what?
yeah, we forget that often.
Because I understand while you are learning, when you are learning the discipline, is difficult because you have to be super focused and you have to think, but at least think about the things you have to do. But when you already know you are an expert, this is why when I work with top athletes, so I just remove, okay, this stone out, this stone out, this one, okay, now what it, ride the bike, go ride the bike.
But is it
don't
easy?
don't
Is
worry.
it easy to just remove them like that?
No,
It's
no,
not
no,
easy.
no.
Yeah,
It's not easy.
it's not
I
just.
make it
Yeah.
I make it easy for them to don't be scared. And this is another trick as a psychologist. I make it sound easy because if not, they will say, "Oh, too difficult."
Yeah. And you listen to all of the athletes, coaches, everybody else you work with. You carry, you have to carry our pains and our struggles in some type of way. What is something that you do for yourself not to do that or not to overwhelm yourself with us and our issues?
Thank you for asking this because sometimes it's like, okay, who take care of the person who take care of the rest, right? Um, well, I have, of course, this is super important because if I I teach by example, so of course a lot of things they get stuck in me. So what I try to do is my CrossFit or High Rocks routine, like three times per week. So only 3 hours, but like high intensity. So strength, I like to work my strength. Then this I shouldn't say because it's not the best way, but my glass of wine. What can I say?
Why not?
Glass of wine. Then I'm lucky because I live 30 seconds from the mountain. So I go run in the nature is unbelievable. Not like so fast, because the mountain is. This is amazing for me. And sometimes when I have to be creative, because they ask me for a conference or a course, or I go there and then I just, okay, Mar, it will come. So sometimes I may invent stories like not related to psychology. Sometimes, okay, what I'm going to do with the team if we lose this game, blah blah, blah, and if we win. So things about work. Sometimes just run, and this is for me amazing. Then I need to laugh. I look serious, but no, no, no. I need to laugh, and I every day is explaining jokes and having jokes and acting stupid, and this is,
A form of therapy.
yes, and I don't care. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So those are my tricks to be in shape, and sometimes accept that it's not my day today. If it's not my day,
Let it
what
pass.
can I say?
Yeah.
See, I never fight. Oh, I never fight. No, 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 no. Don't fight the emotions. Today I'm okay. It will go because it starts because of nothing. It will end up because of nothing. Don't fight it. The most you fight it, the most time will be here with you. I don't fight thoughts. I don't fight emotions. I let them be.
And see where
But
they.
this is, see, this is, and then if I have to work, I focus because you have to perform. This I have it from my years as a basketball player. So I don't care if I feel bad, I will perform. I don't care if it's a lot of pressure, I will perform. I don't care if I'm having bad thoughts, I don't care, I will perform. I focus, I perform. And then I rest. Super important. Rest. Rest is doing a lot. I fight with coaches. Give them rest. Give them rest. Super important.
Yes, make us miss you. It may take a while, but I hear you saying how all of these things that you are using now is something that you are bringing from basketball. Basketball has taught you a lot. Being a professional athlete has taught you a lot of skills, and you are using them today. And how do you? I know that you are doing this work, so I'm asking you, how do you transform those skills into new life, career life? And what is something that helps us transition in a more healthy way from our sport to something else?
uh, well, I have to say that when I end up my sports career, due to the lack of sports psychologists, my transition wasn't smooth, I would say. Because even though financially I was okay, not to suffer, but not nothing special, but at least normal. I had studies. I had problems with my sports identity and personal identity because it was mixed. So when I end up my career, I thought, okay, if I am not the basketball player who I am, that was a mistake, but nobody was, you don't know, nothing. So nobody was teaching me this. Then I had like 1 or 2 years, because when I say that I don't fight what I don't think I have to fight, I don't. So I was, okay, this is over. This is the most happiest experience in my life. I think I know it will never come back, and it's stupid to. Uh, Nothing will have this what I feel. Impossible. Now, okay, it's a long way to go. I have to think what to do. And right now, I just want to do nothing.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. I was suffering, but I'm not going to move because to where, to what, no. So I was like literally like an old woman waking up in the morning, low energy, going to the cafe, bar, we have bars here in Spain, mal cortado, mali macchiato, then going back to a little bit of lunch, watching TV, nothing. And then I was thinking, at some point, something will happen. And of course, I was suffering. My family was suffering. I didn't have depression, but this maybe dysthymia because I was okay, but not okay. And then one day I start to connecting the dots. look, I study psychology, maybe. ah, So, and then bit by bit, I restart my engine. But I felt that I needed to take care and to heal from this because it's the biggest loss in my life, apart from loss of my beloved ones. But okay, this is something that it's impossible. I will never do it again. And now I like to enjoy so much, so I need to find. And I'm not going to rush. And thank God that I didn't rush. This is why I always say to people that while you are doing your career as an athlete, study and try to be clever with the money, because that will give you enough room to heal properly if you have the case that I have. Because a lot of athletes have zero problem with retirement. Zero means they move fast. So as many athletes as many experiences with retirement.
Yeah. I actually found a lot of at least female basketball players or female handball players, for example, that are retiring and they are struggling. That they end up, not just with sports psychologists, but even further, like psychiatrists and those cases. And this is why I started doing like this. I started trying to discover what it is that I want to do next. And I don't feel bad that my retirement is coming. I found that I have the peace with what's behind me, with my basketball, and I feel like the exact same excitement about what's next.
Amazing. Super happy for you.
But I have a question.
Okay, yeah, yeah. But I'm happy.
Do you do you think that there's a possibility for me to be like hiding some feelings or like denying some feelings?
See, this is Milica asking, like,
Digging.
but yeah, digging, and maybe this what I now we don't know each other for so long, but I would suggest that um, check on the variable control, see
Okay.
how you deal with the control, and I don't know. You don't know, and you will find out.
Yeah, that's true.
You will find out. But I think because of the passion you have, it will. Well, I hope. Maybe it's because I hope. I
But
think it will be
maybe your anticipation, that you have inside of you.
maybe it's anticipation. I feel it that because of the passion that you were showing.
Yeah. But it's not easy to leave that identity. Like you said, it felt like a death of one part of you. It's not easy to leave that identity. And thank God today we have these options that like we can explore more. We can start studying. We can start doing something else while we are still playing and transition in an easier way. You've also made this, you have a company called The Move, right? And
Mhm.
it's helping retire the players to transition better. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, this company precisely. I was thinking, wow, if only one athlete can avoid these 1 or 2 years that I had, it would be worth it. So that was the goal of this project, and here we base the intervention in three big branches. The first one is the personal development, and we go straight to sports identity versus personal identity, because you need to have the balance. Because one of the things that we find the most is that this belief that if you put all the effort and you only focus on your career, on your, in this case, on your basketball, and you do nothing else than basketball because nothing can distract you from this, you will perform better. When it's the opposite, because you need to balance. You need to. The table has four
Legs.
four legs. Thank you. The table has four legs. No one. Simple. Four legs. So what we do is, okay, let me see your table. Let me see. Even if you come to our program while you are thinking about retirement, you will perform super good at the end of your career. So we check, okay, your table. Oh, your table is unstable because you only have two legs. Imagine my interventions. This is psychology. It's not written in the books. Okay, four legs. How many? You have two legs. Come on, let's. So we start to rebuild your table. So that would be summarizing personal development. Then we have like second career or studies or career orientation, because you need to know if you are good at studies, what you need to study if you want to do something, which kind of profile you have. Imagine you are more entrepreneurship, or you are more salary worker, or you are more, you need to start digging this and create a possible ways to go outside. Because I have to tell you something. When I start with my sports psychology career, of course, I took a lot of tools from my professional sports career. Every year of mine has to be 5 of the rest, because I start with 39-ish. So, okay, I was calculating. Okay, Mar, 1 year of mine, 5 of them. If not, of course, I'm in disadvantage, but I have this advantage. So I will do it, and this is what I did. So this is something that we work there, and then we have the financial branch, precisely because of I said before, it doesn't matter how much you earn, if you somehow know how to invest or make it grow a little bit, depending, then you will have room to. If you need room to heal, you will have room to heal. If you are an entrepreneurship and want to start something, you will have the money to do it. So those are the 3 branches that we mostly work, based on science, studies, blah, 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 but oriented to the practical world.
Yeah. And, I'm looking through my questions that I prepared for this conversation, and I looked maybe twice on them because our conversation was just going. And I think we covered everything that I really wanted to ask you. I do want to ask something practical, for everybody that's listening. When an athlete comes to you with certain type of anxiety or self-doubt or something like that, what are some of the first things that you focus on and work with them?
With anxiety, first, what I do is to explain them, and this is super important, what anxiety is, super important, and how it works. Then they start to understand many things. Second thing, I'm not going to explain now because we could be here like talking for 3 hours. Then second thing, I try to find out which are the most important, at least visual triggers of anxiety, because if it's competitive anxiety that I assume that we are talking, which are the main triggers, because then we have to do something with them. And depending on which kind of trigger, at the end of the day, is to give the athlete tools for him or her to face this trigger with the maximum weapons as possible to think, okay, I'm scared, but I can face it and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
This summarize, this a method here, and it works. Competitive anxiety with this method works. I try to do simple. Then, of course, you have to, and super important, if you have a high anxiety trait, it means that anxiety is with you. I teach them how to perform with this feeling because it's going to be there with you. So what I try to do is to decrease the intensity. And when you understand that it's not about avoiding it,
Okay.
then everything
The work is done. No, that
well,
makes makes so much sense. um, and for the athlete that's listening to us, and they are not able to reach out or find somebody, um, and it's important. We know how important it is to work on the things that are stopping us or blocking us to perform and to live in the best way possible. What is something that you tell them? How and in which way to reach out and why they should do it?
uh, for me, working with a sport psychologist or with a psychologist is something that not everybody needs. Not everybody needs, and it's not mandatory at all. I would say if you have symptoms, like the symptoms that I said in the beginning, like simple, like I cannot sleep, I'm too worried, I have stomach ache, I lose weight suddenly, I have mood changes, etc., etc. Then just be aware that something could be happening, and then it would be a good moment if that happens for 2 or 3 weeks to start reaching out to somebody and just check. This is important. The other thing is that I want to mention is uh, you are not weak, you are not broken, nothing happened to you. If you go to the doctor when you have a headache, then you come to us when you have another kind of headache. This is super important. And with sports psychologists, if you want to run as fast as possible to win the 100 meters and you hire the best physical trainer ever, I'm telling you something. Your brain is another muscle. Hire the best sports psychologist. Simple things. Surround yourself of the best team that you can, which I have to say a lot of people, a lot of athletes already do.
Awesome. Awesome. And now for the end, um, can you tell me what does winning the journey within mean?
I couldn't hear. Sorry.
What does winning the journey within mean to you?
Uh, First of all, it means that uh, a passionate professional basketball player pursuing her dreams, insisting and never giving up. So for me, all my respect and my admiration. No, really. This is why I said that you have good skills and everything is going to be okay. And second, I just want to thank you, like give you big thanks because mental health is super important. Mental health in sport fundamental, and that you have the knowledge, the desire, and the generosity to share with the world something meaningful. Uh, what else do you want me to say? Just big thank you, and I wish you the best success as possible. And then one day that I could go visit you uh, and have a good beer together and remember. Do you remember, Mar, many years ago when I started, and that you become a successful sports psychologist?
Thank you so much. You really caught me with this answer.
No,
Thank
no, this is true. If you don't know me though, so much, but I don't lie. So if I mean it, I mean it because I was impressed. Believe me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time, for making this happen, and thank you for so many great advices and nice words that you shared. Thank you.
No, thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
I hope so too.